The Formula One community is mourning the loss of John Surtees, who died on Friday aged 83 following treatment for an existing respiratory condition. The Brit was an icon, as the only man to win world championships on 2 wheels and 4, an achievement surely never to be matched.
Anyone who was going to beat Surtees, the hot favourite.
Surtees won 4 500cc world championships between 1956 and 1960, before switching to F1, lifting the crown with Ferrari in 1964. He was also a team owner in F1 and staunch safety advocate after the passing of his son Henry during a Formula 2 race in 2009. Force India driver Sergio Perez has said he's preparing for a tough season on the back of F1's technical regulation revamp, in which the drivers will again become the limit of performance. The cars have already smashed last year's Spanish Grand Prix pole time during pre-season testing. The car's more than 3 seconds faster, but a lot more pace is expected when the grid arrives in Melbourne, further boosting the physical challenge to the drivers.
I think races are going to be more demanding. Just qualifying, practicing in these cars, there's going to be a lot of demand on the physical side. Just purely by the G-forces that you're going to be carrying through a corner, they're going to be a lot bigger.
It's a claim backed by Red Bull Racing's Daniel Ricciardo, who, when speaking exclusively to the Inside Line, said that the added thrill of F1's faster cars does come with a cost.
I think the high-speed corners have been a bit more, well, certainly more fast, more challenging, but with that comes excitement. So, you get that little bit more of a rush through those corners, and then, yeah, physically it does start to beat you up a bit more.
However, the toughest test is expected in September, when the lights go on in Singapore, and the heat and humidity means cockpit temperatures soar to 55 degrees at racing speeds.
Some races will probably finish the race still in pretty good nick, but I'm sure we're going to get to some this year, especially the hot ones, where you'll see a few of us reaching out for some water mid-race.
McLaren's relationship with Honda remains on a knife edge, following a difficult pre-season affected by issues with the Japanese manufacturer's power unit that ended in heavy criticism from 2-time F1 world champion Fernando Alonso. The new year had so much promise for the Woking-based squad, which has had a difficult 2 years as Honda's F1 project got up to speed.
Obviously, 2015 was a very poor year for McLaren, and we made good progress in 16, but even 6th in the championship is not where you think about McLaren running.
Honda had worked hard over the winter, adopting a new Mercedes-style architecture on its power unit, with the turbo compressor and turbine now split by a shaft, but the manufacturer remained guarded pre-season.
I think we cannot make any promises, especially at the beginning, so we need to be realistic.
Just 425 laps were completed in testing, down on benchmark Mercedes with 1,096, moving Alonso to say Honda was the team's only problem and that its power unit has no reliability or power. But McLaren executive chairman Zak Brown has stood by the Japanese. The deal thought to extend through to 2024, saying the two companies will work together to end the drought of success. FIA President Jean Todt has said Formula One cannot sustain a return to V8 or even V10 engines, despite calls from fans for louder cars. Engine technology has been a hot topic over the off-season, with many in the sport questioning whether road car relevance is important, given the automotive industry's move towards electric and self-driven vehicles. But Todt says returning to past solutions is not on. We have a responsibility to run an organization monitored by global society, and global society will not accept that, Todt said. Indeed, I'm sure that if you said, let's go back to engines from 10 years ago, many manufacturers would not support such a move. It's a contentious point, especially with many teams critical of the current power units, which don't provide the same noise as the V8s did before 2014, thereby reducing the overall spectacle and commercial interest.
I think perhaps we need to think a little less about technology and a little bit more about ultimate chariot racing that Formula One should be. And I think there's a great opportunity moving forward to really address some of those points, to bring the noise back into Formula One, turn the volume up.
The sport's current turbocharged V6 engines with multiple energy recovery systems are locked in until 2020.